There's a soccer parlay that wins 85% of the time and almost nobody is using it correctly. It's not a 5-leg parlay. It's not a 10-leg parlay. It's 2 legs in the same match that the sportsbooks accidentally let you combine for way more value than they should. I'm going to show you exactly how to find it in this video. Also, I'm going to give you the 4-step system, a real example with real numbers, and exactly why this parlay is mathematically better than betting either leg by itself. So let's get into it. Before I show you the system, you need to understand why parlays are usually a losing bet, and why this specific parlay is the exception. Normal parlays are mathematically terrible. Here's why. A 2-leg parlay at minus 110 odds, each carries a house edge of around 9%. A 4-leg parlay, 17%. An 8-leg parlay, 30%. Every leg you add compounds the sportsbook's edge against you. That's why parlay bettors lose long term, no matter how skilled they are. But here's the catch. Sportsbooks calculate parlay odds assuming each leg is independent. They multiply the legs together and apply juice on top. What happens when the legs are actually correlated? When one leg hitting makes the other leg more likely to hit? The sportsbook still prices it as if the legs are independent. They don't fully adjust for correlation. That mispricing creates a real edge for the bettor. And that's what this strategy exploits. I'm going to show you a 2-leg same game parlay where both legs are heavily correlated in soccer. The sportsbook prices it like they're independent, and the math tilts firmly in our favor. This isn't a parlay tutorial about hitting 8 legs and getting rich. This is the only parlay structure that actually beats the math. This parlay combines 2 bets in the same match. So let's go with leg 1 here is going to be over 1.5 goals. The 2 teams just need to score 2 goals combined in 90 minutes. This is the most common outcome in soccer. It hits 87% of the time on its own when it's filtered properly. Now let's put in leg 2. Now this is a specific attacker to record over 1.5 total shots. So over 1.5 total shots. And that's shots, not shots on goal, just total shots. So a confirmed starting striker, attacking midfielder, or winger just needs to attempt 2 shots in 90 minutes. And again, total shots includes shots on target, off target, blocked, and deflected. This hits 88% of the time on its own as well. Now here's why combining these 2 legs is genius. If a match goes over 1.5 goals, that means there were scoring chances and attacking play. Where do scoring chances come from? Shots. The same condition that produces goals also produces shots. The 2 legs aren't independent. They're heavily correlated. When you bet over 1.5 goals and over 1.5 shots on a top striker in the same match, you're essentially betting that this is going to be an attacking game. Both legs feed off the same underlying game state. The sportsbook prices the parlay assuming the legs are independent. Then multiply 87% by 88% and get a 76% probability, then add the juice. That gives you a parlay price of around minus 200. But the actual probability when you account for correlation is 85%. That gives you a 9% edge per bet. All stemming from the sportsbook not adjusting properly for how related these 2 outcomes actually are. Now let's get to the 4-step system of how to exactly find these parlays. There's 4 filters, and they all must pass before you place the bet. Let's go ahead and get to step 1. Step 1 is that the match must qualify for over 1.5 goals. Now this is the same leg 1 filter system from my over 1.5 goal strategy. So there's 3 sub-checks in this. First one is both teams need to average 1 goal per game for the full season. Now the crazy thing is, for this bet, you could literally use my Linemaker AI that I created that'll literally scrape all this information for you and spit out the results for the exact play that meets the criteria that I'm teaching you in a matter of seconds. So if you guys want access to that and you guys want a trial, make sure you guys click the link in the description. Now if either team is below 1 goal per game on average, then this isn't going to work. You're going to cross that out. The second thing is going to head. History must support the over. You look at the last 10 meetings between the 2 teams, and at least 8 out of 10 need to be over that threshold of 2 goals. Now both teams must have scored in 4 out of their last 5 games. This confirms current attacking form, not just season averages. If any of these 3 sub-checks fail, then you skip the match entirely. Now let's go ahead and get to step 2, which is going to be the over 1.5 total shots. Now we got to find a starting attacker in the match who qualifies for the shots leg. The player must be a striker, attacking midfielder, or winger. No defenders, no defensive midfielders, and no goalkeepers. They have to be a player whose job is to take shots. The player must be confirmed in the starting lineup. Lineups are typically announced 60 to 90 minutes before kickoff. So do not place this bet before the lineup is confirmed. If your striker doesn't start in the game, the bet is dead immediately. But let's get to what you need to look at for the player. The player must average at least 2.5 shots per game on the season. Now again, this is total shots, not just shots on target. Total shots include everything that they attempt. Now, the opposing team must allow at least 12 shots attempted per game. Here you want a defense that gives up shooting opportunities. Teams that pack 10 men behind the ball and limit shots entirely will kill this leg. If you can't find an attacker in the match who meets all three criteria, then you're going to skip the match, even if step 1 passed. Now let's go ahead and get to step 3. This is what separates the strategy from random parlay building. You want to verify that the player scores from open play, not set pieces. Some strikers get their shots from corners and free kicks. Those shots aren't correlated with overall match scoring. You want a player who creates and takes shots from the run of play, because those shots correlate directly with attacking momentum. Next is confirm the match style is attacking. Two teams chasing the title playing each other in May is more likely to be open than two relegation threatened sides playing in a survival battle. Big rivalries, must-win games, and matches between top half teams tend to be open. Skip any match where one team is likely to park the bus defensively. If both teams are expected to be cautious or one team needs only a draw, skip it. Defensive game scripts kill the correlation. Now let's go ahead and get to step 4, the odds that we need. Now what we must do here is we must build the parlay and then check the math. So we're going to add leg 1, which is your over 1.5 total goals, and then add leg 2, which is your qualifying attacker over 1.5 shots. The sportsbook will calculate the combined parlay odds. Target parlay odds minus 250 or better. So at minus 250, our implied probability here is going to be a little over 71%. Then you calculate the true probability using this formula. Take the head-to-head over 1.5 hit rate, so let's say it's 9 out of 10, which is 90%. Multiply by the player's matches with 2+ shots divided by total matches. So let's say 18 of 20 matches with 2+ shots equals 90%. So 90% times 90% gives you 81% independent probability. Then add the 8% correlation adjustment because these two legs feed off the same game state. That brings your true combined probability to 89%. Now what this gives you right here is a massive edge. This right here gives you a plus 18% edge. Now your required minimum edge is going to be plus 10%. If the math doesn't show at least 10%, then you skip the parlay. Wait for a better matchup. Now let me walk you guys through a live example. Let's say we got Manchester City versus Liverpool. Let's take a look at step 1 here, okay? So Man City averages 2.4 goals per game. Liverpool averages 2.1 goals per game. Both well above 1, so that passes. Let's take a look at the last 10 head-to-head between these two teams. 9 out of 10 had over 1.5 goals, so 90%. Both teams scored in all 5 of their last 5 matches as well, so that's a pass. So everything checks for leg 1. Now let's try to find the qualifying attacker for over 1.5 shots. Let's take a look at Erling Haaland. He is a confirmed starting striker for Manchester City. Now what's crazy here is he averages 5.2 shots per game on the season, well above the 2.5 threshold. Liverpool now concedes 13.8 total shots per match. So again, let's draw that line here. Liverpool gives up 13.8 shots, well above that 12 threshold that we're looking for. Therefore, Haaland qualifies for leg 2. Now let's get to the correlation verification. Haaland scores almost exclusively from open play. His goal map shows 89% from open play. 11% from set pieces, so that passes. Manchester City versus Liverpool is one of the most attacking rivalries in world soccer. Both teams play high-pressing, attacking systems. Neither team is going to park the bus, so that passes as well. Now let's get to the odds and the edge correlation. When you build the parlay, let's say on DraftKings, and combine over 1.5 goals with Haaland to get over 1.5 shots, your odds become minus 220 with an implied probability of 68.8%. Now let's do the true probability math here. Head-to-head rate is 9 out of 10, so 90%. Hollins matches with 2+ shots. That's 21 out of 22 on the season. That's 95.5%. Combined independent is 90% times 95.5%, which equals 86%. Now add the 8% correlation for the adjustment. That creates a 94% true probability versus a 68.8%. That's a staggering difference. That right there creates a 25%, which is crazy. That's massive. Now, if we take a look at the result in this game, now that's the entire process. It's about 15 minutes of research if you do it all on your own, from start to placed bet. But like I said, I have the Linemaker AI now that does all this for you. All you would have to do is just literally put in the steps, and it will answer your question and give you the answer and the result within seconds. So if you guys want access to that, make sure you guys click the link in the description. Now let's get to where you could actually find this bet. Now this bet is built using the same game parlay builder on most sportsbooks. Every major sportsbook usually offers this feature for soccer. So it's on DraftKings and FanDuel. You click into any soccer match, then click the same game parlay, which says SGP. Add the over 1.5 goals from the main market, then click into the player props and add your qualifying attackers over 1.5 shots. The parlay odds calculate automatically. On Bet365, the SGP feature is called Bet Builder. Same process though. Add both legs, see the combined odds. On Bovada and BetOnline, look for same game parlay or SGP Builder. Here's one important note. Not all sportsbooks allow this specific combination in their SGP Builder. Some books restrict which markets can be combined to limit correlation exposure. If your sportsbook blocks this combo, then you just got to try another sportsbook. DraftKings, FanDuel, Bet365, they typically allow it. Most parlay strategies are designed to make sportsbooks money. This is the only parlay structure that actually makes you money. The reason it works is because the sportsbook prices the legs as if they're independent, and they're not. The correlation between goals and shots in the same match is real, and the math proves it. If you've watched my over 1.5 goals video or my over 1.5 shots video, this parlay is just strategies stacked together for better odds. Same research, 2 systems, 1 bet. Now make sure you subscribe, so that way YouTube shows you the rest of the soccer betting playbook as well. And make sure to drop a comment if you guys have tried this parlay strategy and it's worked for you. And again, if you want all of this done for you where you could just put in the stats and just ask an AI exactly what matchups and scan over hundreds of matchups within a couple minutes, make sure you guys click the link in the description to use the Linemaker AI. As always, I'm Frank with Linemaker Sports. I'll see you guys in the next video. Till then, I'm out.